And it looks like our racers are off.
Infinite Mystery going with Woodman first. Interesting choice. I'm not sure what went into that decision. Squid going with a much more standard
Is the
quick
selection?
stage.
Are the stages all in the Are the stages still in the vanilla position, or are they also randomized where they are on the screen?
They're randomized where they are on the screen. They're randomized, their position on the menu screen is randomized, as well as the boss at the end of the stage, and the enemies that are encountered throughout the stage. Boss, like, weapon weaknesses are also randomized for enemies and bosses. The damage that weapons do is randomized, as well as the ammo consumption. For weapons where it makes sense, their behavior is randomized, like Metal Blade, the horizontal and vertical speed are randomized separately, so you might get a Metal Blade that goes very slowly up, but very fast left and right. So this will be an interesting stage.
What might almost be easier to explain.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, is what isn't randomized. So the damage Mega Man takes from enemies is not randomized. The position of Yoku blocks and the location of the Wily bosses is not randomized. The change key makers are still vanilla. Their location is not, but their behavior. And their behavior is the dogs that we see in the Woodman stage, except for its weaknesses. And E-take locations are still the same.
That's right. So it's interesting, when Infinite Mystery was going through Wood Stage, he got to the screen after the checkpoint, and there's a fat fan there. Squid doesn't normally go for the wood zip, but if he chooses to go for it today, that could be really dangerous, because the fat fans can prevent a zip until you kill them, or use Time Stopper.
And so Squid making quick work of that quick man stage.
That's right. I didn't notice if he picked up an item at the end of that stage, though. So the item locations are also randomized.
No, I didn't see if there was an item acquired either.
Alright. Mystery running into a bit of a problem with Oh, Squid's got an interesting situation I'll talk about in a second. Infinite Mystery running into a bit of a problem taking out Woodman. It can be tricky. So Squid in that situation had a despawned enemy that was behaving like a platform and actually preventing him from going through the stage. You don't see that very often. It comes up as an interaction between birds and lightning lords.
Daggett, are there any interactions between the birds and the bees that Mega Man faces?
The bees. I'm not sure what you mean by the bees.
Never mind.
Alright. Squid taking a little too much damage with those blockies, the tin can enemies. They can just be a problem. It's not real easy to dodge their blocks. You do take less damage if you shoot them. Yeah, Infinite Mystery now in Quick Stage, which is a pretty good opening stage. Squid doing a little bit better with his blocky dodges this time. It's a good stage because there's not a lot of pits to fall down, and you can get E-tanks rather easily. Sorry, what were you saying, Tech?
It's still really curious that Infinite chose Woodman for his first stage.
Yeah, that could have been an accident. Or maybe he likes Woodman because it's a somewhat safe stage. So Squid now has item 1. So he might be thinking he's going to do the wood zip. He just got item 1. He's got a rude surprise in for him if he tries the wood zip, though. If he doesn't have Time Stopper or Metal Blade, he actually might have to reset if he starts the zip.
Uh-oh.
More blockies, boy. Sometimes the randomizer decides it wants to throw a certain enemy at you, and you're just going to see it all over the place. Infinite Mystery should be picking up item 1 here soon as well, if he can win this fight. He's getting a little bit behind on damage, taking some body hits from Quick. Oh, can he do it?
What the rando giveth, the rando also taketh.
That's right. And those boomerangs can be brutal. That pattern that he's getting is just, like, undodgeable. Alright, Squid deciding to skip the zip, which is smart. He might have seen the fat fan. He might have seen the fat fan earlier and decided to move on. Infinite Mystery getting the kill this time.
So early on in the randomizer, if you do come across that boss or quick man with that boomerang pattern, and you don't have a specific weakness or don't have an enemy or a weapon that's does extra damage to him, it becomes a race against time to get as much DPS on him as possible, because like you said, Daggett, it's essentially undodgeable.
Yeah, certain parts of his attack are undodgeable. You can learn to dodge Quickman himself. I don't know how to explain it, but if you fight him enough, you sort of learn, like, oh, he's going to charge at me, and so I need to jump. Squidman's going to take out Woodman by just getting inside his leaf shield and shooting him a whole bunch. You do take some damage, but it's a pretty good way to kill him. And he gets item 2 for his effort. Now we get to find out how our item 1 works. And it looks like a zippable item 1. It doesn't last quite as long as you would like, but it does move up at a pretty good speed. Mystery taking a go at Flashman, that final corridor. It looks like quick boomerangs were the weakness for Blocky. So he was able to get through there with quite a bit of health. Squid had to give up on the zip. It is possible to do that zip with that item, but sometimes it's just not working for you, and you move on. Cut your losses.
Yeah, but essentially you don't want to end up spending more time trying to get a zip than it would to take it vanilla.
Yeah, exactly. Alright, Mystery killing Flash, which I think incorrectly I said he would get item 1 earlier, but it's here in Flash, actually. Going to Crash. That's risky. We'll see if it pays off.
It's another very unusual stage choice for Mystery here.
Yeah, I agree with that. But sometimes we see even our most experienced veteran runners go for an early Crash. So it's just hard to say what runners are thinking. I think Mystery is actually facing the wrong way on this zip setup. So I think even if he gets it, he's in trouble. Oh, and Airman in Metalman's chamber is kind of an interesting one. Notice Squid running on the treadmill, which keeps the tornadoes from despawning, which means that he had a clear shot to Airman and just quickly finishes him off. Squid running into the seafood medley in Bubble. It's, shrimp are jerks. They spawn infinitely up to 2, and they kind of have this delayed movement that can, even though it's predictable, it can get to you really easily. Looks like Infinite Mystery saving one last item 1, probably to grab the E-Tank. It's a common thing you'll see our runners do. They want to grab the E-Tank at the top of the ladder, but they also want to keep going towards the boss, so if you save a little bit of item 2 or one item 1, that'll keep you going. Squid using pause buffers here for the Bubble Man zip. So in this game, when you pause, when you bring up the menu, it completely resets Mega Man's velocity, but he accelerates really fastly left or right, and so you can use this trick to reset your falling velocity while continuing to progress left or right.
It's a very, very minty green Bubble Man stage that we're navigating through.
It's keeping it fresh.
And for those of you who didn't know, Mega Man and across all the games has an acute seafood allergy, so it is extremely dangerous whenever he comes across these shrimp and crabs.
That's right. Squid smartly saving some item 2 for the end of the stage. There were shrimp at those gaps, something you want to avoid if you can.
So, underwater heat, man.
Yeah, you. It turns out you can't put out an atomic fire with just water.
There's a lot of chemistry that goes in behind that, but I don't have time for that tonight.
That's right.
Well, Mega Man just picked up the big laser, so an Infinite Mystery looks like he's also running into the same issue Squid did, trying to set this item 1 up to get that zip. We'll see how long he sticks with it.
Oh, he almost had it, but yeah, I'm starting to think this item is not zippable. Oh, he gets it! Oh, that's great. Now, granted, it took the setup long enough that he's really just breaking even on the time. And so one thing I didn't get a chance to comment on when Squid was doing the Heatman fight was Heatman's probably the slowest boss if you don't have a good way to deal damage to him, because you can only hit him once per cycle. So an important strategy is if you have weapons and you run into Heatman, try them all, because you might find his weakness and kill him very quickly, both here and in the refights.
Squidman, just a lot of Sniper Joes thus far in this Airman stage. A couple OG Pat fans, but it doesn't... again, I will say, as I have said for most of the times I've commented now, that I do not take any responsibility for any actions foreseen or unforeseen that or situations that our players will come into or encounter during their runs as a result of my commentary. So, that being said, Squidman doesn't look like he had too much trouble getting through that Airman stage.
No, and Bubble Man not putting up much of a fight either. Seemed pretty Buster weak. Oh, and Mystery finishing off Metal Man stage as well.
So, looks like Squidman is one full stage ahead at this point.
Yeah, I believe so.
Item 3 is still a mystery.
It's not exactly comparable because one of Squid's stages is Crash, which is probably the slowest stage. So it's probably not exactly a whole level in terms of time. Squid pulling off that zip, that'll help him quite a bit. So in this zip, you're basically tricking the game into thinking that you've reached the checkpoint and then you die. And the game says, oh, well, I should respawn you at the nearest checkpoint. Oh, that happens to be the screen you're on.
Interesting to see that Infinite didn't even try the bubble zip. He just jumped down and he's taking it vanilla.
Yeah, it's a nice zip, and it does save a fair bit of time, but it's not the end of the world. I think we saw a match recently where one player missed that and still beat the other player in a very close one. I think that was the first round of Stuff versus Creed. If I have the right... I think that's the right matchup.
Yes, because Stuff attempted the zip but wasn't able to pull it off. He
Yep.
was just missed it.
Yeah, so zips, they're very helpful, and they can make or break a race, but you can have players who play Buster only and still put down really great times, as Kame Sennin has shown.
Squid wisely switching over to the flash stopper to avoid getting sniped out by that shot man there.
Yeah. Oh, Mystery's in a bit of trouble here. Oh.
Uh-oh. Oh. Curse you, shrimp.
Squid should be making pretty quick work of Metal Man here. He's not too dangerous in the randomizer. So
Squid picking up the Shoka Stone, and it looks like item 3 is going to be buried at the end of Heatman stage.
yeah, unless I've missed something in the tracker, that's right. Heatman has item 3, which is kind of unfortunate because there's a big zip you can do in Heat stage, but normally you learn it with item 3. Now this is the randomizer. So there are some zips exclusive to the randomizer in Heat stage that use item 1, because normally you would get item 1 here in Heatman stage. But if you come here with item 1, there's a zip in the first screen that you could do, and technically the item 3 zip, you can do it with item 1. But this item 1 hasn't been so great, so I think Squid probably will skip this zip, but we'll see for sure what happens in a second here. Yeah, it looks like he's not going to bother with it. So, Mystery here having to deal with these shrimp. If you remember, when Squid got to this part, he still had item 2, and so he used it to get past the shrimp by just avoiding
Man, that's a lot of Chanky makers.
Yeah.
We found them.
See if Mystery
We will
can find Heatman's weakness.
So if you hear Daggett and myself talking over each other or starting to talk at the same time, it's because we have a bioneural link, and there's still some glitches that are being worked out.
Yeah, it's got a bit of latency sometimes. Mystery's doing really well on E-Tanks. He has 3, and I think he should use one here. If he's not careful, one body hit will kill him.
But Squid obliterated Crashman, and he's going to be moving on to the Wily stages.
Yep. Well, there's a game we like to play here in the Randomizer Tournament. When we get to the boss for Wily 1, we like to make a guess as to what color and perhaps even what weakness the Mecha Dragon will have. So would you like to go first, Tech?
Sure. Let me get out my Pantone reference sheet here. I am going to go with a Spring Lily light purple dragon with a weakness to Leaf Shield.
I will go with an orange dragon, and I'm going to go Crash Weak.
All right. Chat, get your guesses in. Be as descriptive as possible, please.
Oh, was that Heatman the Infinite Mystery just finished up? Or which stage
He
was
finished
that?
Heat and Bubble stage. So, yep. You will see what enemies Squid's going to face on this climb.
Squid with some nice item 3 placements. There's a few magic pixels where you can place an item 3 on a ladder and jump at the same time, and Mega Man will just magically land on that ladder, or on the item 3. These fans in Airman, it's vanilla-ish, but it's always a little bit scary because they're not in the vanilla locations necessarily, and there's a lot of gaps to fall down.
And that's why you'll see our players jump, look forward a little bit, and then possibly jump back before jumping forward again to see what they might be coming across. Because it's quicker to do that and then jump forward again versus, oh, called it! and then to, jump right into a fat fan and get blown across the stage.
Oh, and that's a Buster Week dragon.
Week. Oh, Koomba said pink and light blue to be specific. Who generated these seeds? No, just...
Alright, I think the tracker's caught up now on Mystery. Squid running away from that chicken. Ah, he wanted the ammo pellet. He didn't have enough item
called
too.
Colonel Sanders. We got some robo poultry coming our way.
So I didn't quite see what happened to him there, but normally people grab the weapon refill that's at the end of the pier, but he must have been out for some reason. Do we know the barrier weakness yet? Oh, looks like it's Metal Blade.
We do not. I think Squid placed the crash bomb and then is he able to switch in between it activating? Or he just took that split second to save some time to fire the crash bomb, then jump down to the other platform while it's in the process of timing down to detonate, and then can switch to another weapon.
That's right. You can't menu anytime there's an item on the screen, whether it's Mega Man's Buster Shot, whether it's item 1, 2, or 3, or like any weapon. You can't menu when Time Stopper is active. It can actually create a problem if you're fighting a Wily boss and you use something like Crash Bomb. It's taking a while to explode, and you really need to menu right now to use your E-Tank, and you can't.
It would be unfortunate. And Infinite Mystery is using this barrier here to test out.
Yeah, I don't know if he has Metal Blade
weaknesses.
yet. I haven't seen his page 2 in a while.
And it is a quick boomerang that takes down Pico Pico here, or is one of his weaknesses, or it, I should say. I don't know. To misgender Pico Pico.
Yeah, and quick boomerang is a pretty good weakness for Pico, especially this one that isn't consuming all that much ammo. Quick boomerang fires quickly, like you might guess. And in this case is low ammo consumption. So even though he was needing like 5 shots per Pico, it's still a good weapon.
So that brings us now to Wily 3.
Yep.
Infinite flying just over that meme. Into the Fanta sewers.
Oh, yeah. Squid in a bit of trouble there because he fired.
No.
And because he fired, he couldn't pause buffer. And the fan made his jump too short.
Fortunately, right at the start.
Yeah. Fans in that section of Wily 3 almost always kill you your first time. Oh, and Infinite Mystery will now be joining Squid in the castle, the Wily stages.
Sure, there's someone in chat who knows where this music came from.
I know it's familiar from the Mega Man 2 randomizer. I can tell you that. Got a very gray Gutsdozer today. Looks like he's bubble weak. Also, a pretty good weakness to have against him because it's easy to fire over his fist.
Oh, that bird knocking Infinite Mystery off his item 3 there. He's relentless.
Yeah, Mystery running low on health. Gonna need to use an E-Tank. Smart decision. So the false floors in Wily 4 are randomized. It looks like Squid discovered the last one before the ladder is the one that's missing. But he has plenty of item 3, so he's able to get the vertical zip. It's a nice time save, and it makes it so that you can avoid one of the false floor screens. Now these elevator rooms, the first one's fine. We'll see. The third one's the one that can really be a problem for players. But it looks like this Wily 4 might be kind of generous to our players tonight.
Again, that's coming from Daggett, so Squidman might be doomed.
It's Chanky Makers, so not too bad actually. They do a lot of damage to Mega Man, and Squid chose to deboost off them, but they don't interfere with you on the ladders too much, which is fortunate. Boy, this seed really likes to put its unavoidable enemies in your face.
Can't miss them.
Mystery killing the dragon without any real problem. You notice Squid's strategy here on the boo beam fight. He's trying the weapons that can reach the boo beams without destroying the barriers, even though he knows the barrier weakness.
And he found it with Leaf Shield.
That's right. It makes the fight much faster if you can menu fewer times and not have to worry about all the times that you're firing at the barriers to die and whatnot. So a very fast Wily 4 fight.
And I think the Leaf Shield was inverted in at least one of the directions.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, Squid's on a fantastic pace here. I just want to point that out. He was sub 29 for Wily 5.
Buster making quick work of the albino woodman.
Not sure what type of wood that was.
Like a birch, perhaps?
Yeah, let's go with that. Looks like Squid's gonna stick with Air Shooter here for the Heatman fight. I don't remember if Infinite Mystery found a better weapon. But sometimes, 4 damage is the best you can do on Heatman.
Oh. Eked out of that one.
I didn't realize how spammy that Crash Man was earlier.
He wasn't. Well, he didn't seem to be as spammy.
Oh, we had an Airman bro. He just said, you know what, Mega Man? I don't want to fight today.
I'll see you next rando seed.
Exactly. Squid finally deciding to use one of his E-tanks. It's if you can wing it, if you have a lot of E-tanks, it is faster to use the E-tanks to recover your health during the refights than it is to pick up the health from the Robomasters.
So Infinite Mystery is going to take some... Oh, and it was the second weapon he chose, so he also finds Quick Boomerang as a weakness for Pico Pico.
Yeah. I always recommend to people, try the weapon you wish you could fight the boss with first. Because if it turns out to be the weakness, then you've got an easy fight.
So
Squid
glad to
using
see
his
Squid
second
taking that
E-tank.
E-tank, because that was so close.
Yeah, Quickman, when he's got... Oh, yes, okay, I'm glad to see Infinite Mystery also taking an E-tank here. The Wily 1 and Wily 2 bosses are not ones you want to die to. It takes a lot of time and resources to get back to those fights. Really messes up your routing and slows you down. Infinite Mystery. Oh, don't make a mistake
Oh
here.
no! It's getting bodied by Pico, and that just train wrecks right into Mega Man. But makes it out with, I think that's 4 pips of health. Now Squid's going to find the Wily. That's, well, there's that. That part of the fight.
Yeah, we'll see. There's another zip coming up, and we'll see if Squid bothers with it. I don't think he likes the item 1, so my prediction is he won't go for this zip. Oh, Mystery not dying in Wily 3. Very nice. He handled that fat fan very well.
Sounds like very appropriate Wily 4 music. I'm gonna run through a hall of dripping acid. Hot it up.
Squidman also having some technical difficulties. We'll see if it affects his ability to finish the race, but he got kicked from the IRC server, which is how the official timing works, but I think he was able to rejoin, so he's probably good.
And now it's just a matter to see what the alien is weak to. Neither Buster nor Quick. Cross metal off.
Yeah. It's not leaf, not air. It's probably charged heat then. Mystery having a little bit of trouble with the Guts Dozer.
Found it.
When the alien is...
Looks like he slipped off the edge of the Guts tank and...
So Squidman, GG Squidman, he finishes with an official SRL time of 33:27. I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, when the alien is weak to charged atomic fire like that, you actually have to be kind of careful, because if you accidentally fire an uncharged shot and hit the alien with it, it'll go back to full health. And you can create a situation where you no longer have the ammo to finish the fight.
That would be, that sounds like it would be quite unfortunate. Yeah, big GG's to Squid, and finishing this first, finishing first in this first seed. We're gonna cheer on Infinite Mystery as he navigates his way across.
Yeah, it's completely up to the runner whether they want to continue once their opponent has finished, and we always encourage people to finish. Especially for players that are newer, it's really good to build the confidence and finish the seeds. But there's also situations where you're frustrated, you're tilted, and you just want to be done with it. And so we understand if players decide to quit or forfeit.
Surprised to see Mystery waited for the elevator to come all the way back around, but perhaps he was trying to conserve. Well,
it's definitely the safest thing to do. And this is an anxiety-inducing room. So I totally get it when players are like, you know what, I'm just going to play it safe. I'm going to kill everything, and then go through the room.
waiting for the elevators is faster than having to run back from the last checkpoint.
Yeah. The hitbox on that blocky not being kind at all to Mystery. Just deciding, nope, I'm not going to register your hit.
You're just going to have to take it to the face. So let's see. Mystery did try every other weapon except for Crash Bomb, which he didn't have at the time. Oh. I'm sorry, it was metal because Crash was the first one Squid used. I'm just gonna sign off now. I'm just kidding.
So Mystery here doing a trick with the menu, it creates a teleport animation, and Mega Man doesn't have a hitbox when he's in the teleport animation, and so the Boo Beam bullets just go right through Mega Man if you pause correctly. It's kind of a slower technique, but if you're concerned about your health, it will conserve it.
Oh no, and he skipped back over the leaf shield.
Yeah, he may... It's possible to get confused about which weapons you've tried. The sound effects are randomized, so it can be hard to tell when you've dealt damage.
Oh, there he goes again, and figures it out this time. All right.
He's got a little corner jump he can do here. Or he can destroy that barrier. Looks like he opted for destroying the barrier. Certainly the easier thing if you're feeling under pressure.
So you'll see that the letters for each weapon, the location of the weapon is not randomized, but the letter that represents it is.
That's right. Yeah, positionally everything's where it normally is. I actually, when I play these, because that's a new feature this year, I actually keep a cheat sheet in front of me with their vanilla lettering. I have them memorized, but I'm always worried about a situation where during the stress of a race I'm just going to blank and forget things that I've known for a long time. I also recommend keeping a cheat sheet in front of you where you can write down the weaknesses to things as you discover it. So I've been in plenty of races myself where, I get to Wily 4 and I don't remember the barrier weakness anymore, even though I found it out in Heat Stage or, Wily 2.
For all of you viewers at home, I would recommend that you get out a cheat sheet and put your bank account and routing number information on it so that you can reference that quickly and easily when a commentator asks you for it.
Uh-oh. See if looks like Airman's gonna be a bro again. Oh no, he decides he wants to put up a little bit of a fight today.
Not cool, Airman.
Meanwhile, Squidman is showing us how to play Mega Man 5 Buster only.
Pay no attention to the number at the top of the screen. It's still a Mega Man 2 tournament, but hey, practice time is practice time, right?
Yep.
This is Mystery's last refight. Dark Bubbles here is not a fan of or not afraid of the Metal Blade.
Yeah, I don't think he's tried Buster recently on Bubble, but Buster turns out to be a pretty good weapon for this Bubble. Grabbing the health, another smart decision. The machine fight's not too bad, except in the case where it's not Buster weak. It's Phase 1, dodging Phase 1 of the machine is not hard, but dodging Phase 2 of the machine is essentially impossible. It's like the kind of thing a task could do, but a human can't reliably do.
Fortunately, Infinite tried Buster first and found that it was Buster weak. But is he gonna... Oh, yeah. Safe there, take a E-tank versus starting all over again.
Oh, interesting. Infinite Mystery choosing to go left at the start here because the randomizer places 2 weapon capsules here. They're not there in vanilla. That does have the side effect that you then need to deal with the acid drips. Infinite Mystery choosing to use Time Stopper to deal with them.
And so if you drop down into this Wily 6 stage and stay all the way to the right, you can run through without the possibility of getting hit by one of these acid drops.
That's right, because they drip on a timer, and the timer doesn't start until they appear on the screen.
So now Mystery's gonna try his hand at fishing around for a Wily weakness.
He tries Heat second. You don't see that often, but it's a good choice. Hopefully he has enough ammo. This is getting close. Exactly enough, basically. Alright, GG Infinite Mystery.
Let's get some GGs in chat, please. Infinite Mystery wrapping up this first seed. What's that official time, Daggett?
Official SRL time of 43:32, which is a race PB for Infinite Mystery by 6 minutes and 32 seconds.
Awesome. So, congratulations, or a big congratulations. That's a big PB jump.
Yeah, it is. We'll get set up here in a second for
while our
round
players
2.
are going to get...
Sorry, I cut you off there, Tech.
It's okay. It's just our neural latency. While our players are getting set up, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to SpeedGaming for hosting us tonight on SpeedGaming 2. They put a lot of work and effort in getting the technicalities and details for us to be able to show off our tournament and share it with you guys. And thank you all for watching. We appreciate your patronage. We hope your Sunday has been treating you well, or your early Monday, depending on where you are in the world. Some of us are not ready to go back to work, but such is life. We can get your work week started with this fantastic Mega Man 2 Rando Tournament, though. Yes, Wazul, I do apologize. Some of us do work weekends. So if you're joining us from work, congratulations. We're glad we get to make your workday a little bit better. Or if this is after work, I don't know what to say. That's just the way the cookie crumbles.
You'll also notice here the intro text story is also randomized. So it's for use in Armenia. And Dear Mega Man, which I believe is a one of the Mario Seed stories, but I don't remember which Mario game. I baked a cake for you, so maybe Super Mario 64? Looks like both of our runners probably have the same seed because they have the same intro text. That's just a nice little check we like to do before the race gets started. Make sure everybody generated everything correctly on their end.
Both Squidman and Infinite Mystery are fighting as the original Mega Man, but you do have your choice of sprites with this randomizer. You can play as OG Mega Man, you can play as Roll-chan, as Bass, or as Proto Man.
That's right. Looks like we have a small technical issue here, so it might take a minute before we get this next race started. Please hold on. Please bear with us. Thank you for your patience.
As of right now, you cannot play as Sonic or Mario in the Mega Man 2 randomizer, so those are not available sprites. However, feel free to work on your custom sprite at home.
Yeah, I don't really know what the requirements are for this if you want to add custom sprites to this, but the source code for the randomizer is on GitHub. So you might be able to convince Duckfist to accept your patches.
In the meantime, enjoy this dope Mega Man 2 intro music.
Yeah, sorry about these technical problems, but we should be starting soon.
So again, this is a best of 3 match. So if Squidman wins this seed, he will be the winner for tonight. If Infinite Mystery wins this seed, it will go on to a 3rd game.
That's right. And I think this is Squid's
Unless
first race
you're-
of this tournament.
Or you could be like Charlie Boy and Kumba and tie, and then have to go to a 4th.
Yeah, that was a very unusual circumstance. But it looks like our runners were able to get all their technical issues sorted, and you'll see them start in just a few seconds here. Do you have any predictions for this round?
Oh boy. I'd have